going on, Jerome's? So, yes, the Minnesota Vikings defensive line needs to get back to indeed having the meats and just dream of a 350-pound nose tackle dream. But, of course, just having stouter players as well as dudes who can get their own pass rush up front is going to be key for the Vikings. And even though it is a much maligned unit, we just talked about how PFF has them ranked as the worst defensive lines in the league. Interior-wise, beyond Harrison Phillips as well as jumping Jonathan Bullard, who's solid against the run, there's a lot of guys with J names, as we pointed out before. Again, isn't this so weird? Jonathan, Jerry, Jaquelin, James, Jihad, Jonah, Jalen. Come on, man. Come on. But yeah, hopefully the Jays can certainly bring some juice. Nailed it, to the defensive line. And one of those Jays is Jerry Tillery, the former first-round pick. Of course, Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell and company love the mama I can change him type players who signed a one-year deal with incentives worth up to $3.75 million. The former Charger, the former Raider, the former Notre Dame fighting Irish defensive player. So I remember Tillery at Notre Dame, and it's just like, man, like he's got all the physical tools. Like, could he be another Calais Campbell type player, but just hasn't panned out through multiple stops. Plus, Tom Telesco, it really sucks when Tom Telesco gets to cut you twice. Come on, man. But anyways, long story longer, Alec Lewis, the Athletic, singled out Jerry Tillery when talking about how the Vikings D-line is going to get after things. This is from a mailbag he put out last week. What is the plan to create interior pass rush given the lack of a pass rush juice from the defensive tackles? Just said juice. Last year, 187 defenders rushed the passer at least 200 times. Harrison Phillips, Jonathan Bullard ranked 176 and 185th respectively out of those 187. The point is a valid question, Sam. One quick answer might be Jerry Tillery, who ranked 88th on that list. Plug him in, the Vikings should penetrate further. Even if he's nowhere near close to the stratosphere occupied by Quinnen Williams, Chris Jones, or Aaron Donald. Now, he doesn't have to be. He doesn't. Another potential answer is an uptick in stunts and games up front. Last year, defense coordinator Brian Flores opted for a max pressure, max coverage approach, but the defensive line movement seemed mostly vanilla. And that is fair, where the Vikings led the league in blitz percentage as well as they led the league in dropping 7. So it really was a game of rock, paper, scissors for Brian Flores. But hopefully it's going to be a spot where the Vikings can get a consistent interior pass rush so he doesn't have to consistently send 5, 6, 7 bodies forward. And the Vikings can play a little bit more press man along the outside. And in terms of pass rush, like Alec pointed out, Phillips and Bullard, it's not really their bag. It just isn't. So having a guy up front, even in the structure of a 3-4, where having a guy that can blow up a couple gaps, I mean, it is certainly nice. It is really fantastic when you have a JJ at one of those 5-tech spots, but they're really hard to come by. And generally having a guy like a Cam Hayward type at one of those defensive end spots who can absorb bodies, free up your edge rushers and linebackers, as well as get a little something in terms of a pass rush. I mean, that's really the best that you can do. And Tillery, I mean, again, there's a reason why Kwesi loves these high draft pedigree guys, because they already filtered through one level of screening and a team invested a high draft pick in him. And with Tillery, like he's only 27 years young, and he's 6'6", he's 295, former first round pick, number 28 overall by the Chargers. And I mean, he was a freak. Like, he was a certified athletic freak coming in from Notre Dame, and it just hasn't really clicked in various spots. Now, is he ever going to be a double-digit sack guy? Probably not. But even last year with the Raiders, like he did have a 10.2% pressure rate, which is solid given his specific role in the defense. And I do think that he is a guy that can bring something in terms of a pass rush. He is that classic 4-tech, 5-tech, 3-4 defensive end. Can play both sides, has length, has power, can 2-gap, and does bring a quality bull rush. The problem is consistency, which hasn't been there, and that's been a hallmark of Jerry Tillery's career so far. But it is a low-risk, high-reward spot, and I think that given the makeup of the rest of the depth, I think Jaquelin and James Lynch have a great opportunity. Jihad Ward has been a solid veteran for years. Jalen Redmond, UFL superstar. Maybe LDR, the seventh round pick, gets in there as well. But I think things are set up that the Vikings actually want Jerry Tillery to win the first team spot opposite Bullard, especially on early downs and especially on passing downs. So I do think that Tillery has a chance to be that X factor and someone who could bring a little bit of juice and a little bit of a pass rush from that interior, which has been sorely lacking for the last couple seasons for the Vikings. But your thoughts are thoughts. Jerry Tillery could be a defensive line X factor for the Vikes. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.